interchangeably for the same people. In Isaiah's prophecy, for example, Phoenicia is termed Canaan. Issa 23. 11. JP. RS. NW, FTN. Land of seafaring traders. The Phoenicians were among the great seafaring peoples of the ancient world. Their ships were very seaworthy for their size. They were high both at the bow and at the stern, of wide beam, and could be powered by both sails and oars. As 27. 3-7 Phoenician vessels handled much of the commerce on the Mediterranean. In the 11th century BCE, Solomon employed Phoenician servants of Hiram to accompany his ships going to Tarshish, Spain. 2ch9. 21 Phoenician sailors were also used aboard Solomon's fleet sent from Ezion-Geber to Ophir. 1 Chi 9. 26-28. 10. 11 In the 7th century BCE, Phoenician vessels were still sailing to Tarshish and bringing back silver, iron, tin, and lead. As 27. 12. Arts and crafts. Phoenician metal workers were skilled in casting, hammering, and engraving objects of gold and silver. Other artisans specialized in carving wood and ivory, fashioning glassware, weaving wool and linen, and dyeing cloth. Phoenicia was especially noted for her purple dye industry. Royal Orterian purple robes commanded the highest prices, for many thousands of murex, shellfish, each yielding but a single drop of dye, were needed for a few yards of cloth. The dye varied in hue, depending on where along the shores of the Mediterranean the shellfish were found, and this fact, plus the special skills of the Phoenician dye masters who often used a double or triple dyeing process, resulted in many varieties of costly fabrics that were sought after by those of rank and nobility. As 27. 2, 7, 24. In the time of David and Solomon, the Phoenicians were famous as cutters of building stones and as woodsmen skilled in bringing down the stately trees of their forests. 2 Sa 5. 11. 1 Chi 5. 1, 6-10, 18. 9. 11. 1 Ch 14. 1. Religion. As Canaanites, the Phoenicians practiced a very base religion centered around the fertility god Baal. It involved sodomy, bestiality, and ceremonial prostitution, as well as abhorrent rites of child sacrifice. See picture, Volume 1, p. 739. Canaan, Canaanite no. 2 Conquest of Canaan by Israel. The Phoenician city of Baalbek c. 65 km 40 mi of Beirut became one of the great centers of polytheistic worship in the ancient world. In Roman times great temples to various gods and goddesses were erected there, the ruins of which can be seen today. In the spring of 31 CE certain residents of Phoenicia demonstrated faith by traveling inland to Galilee to listen to Jesus and to be cured of their ailments. Mr. 3. 7-10. Lu 6. 17 A year or so later, Jesus visited the coastal plains of Phoenicia and was so impressed by the faith of a Syro-Phoenician woman living there that he miraculously cured her demon-possessed daughter. Mount 15. 21-28. Mr. 7. 24-31. When persecution broke out in Judea following the martyrdom of Stephen, some Christians fled to Phoenicia. There, for some time, they proclaimed the good news only to Jews. But following the conversion of Cornelius, congregations that had a mixture of Jews and non-Jews began to spring up along the Phoenician coast as well as in other parts of the Roman Empire. The Apostle Paul visited some of these congregations in Phoenicia during the course of his travels. The last recorded visit with believers there was at Sidon, when he was on his way to Rome as a prisoner in about 58 CE. Act 11. 19. 15. 3. 21. 1-7. 27. 1-3. Phoenix from a root meaning palm tree. A harbor of Crete. Act 27. 12 The grain boat on which Paul was traveling as a prisoner to Rome attempted to sail from Fair Havens to Phoenix for winter anchorage. Seized by a storm, it was subsequently otex to acute Muritra Longo, Pig 637 Phrygia Phrygia Middle. Country or region in Central Asia Minor. The geographic boundaries of Phrygia fluctuated greatly over the years, so it is difficult to define the area encompassed unless one refers to a specific period. In the 1st century, Phrygia was an inland area in the Roman provinces of Galatia and Asia, covering the plateau country and of the Taurus range, from the Halys River on the E to the upper valleys of the Hermus and Meander rivers on the W. The Apostle Paul travelled through portions of Phrygia on at least 2 of his trips. Acts 16. 6. 18. 23. 19. 1. It is commonly believed that the Phrygians migrated from Thrace toward the close of the 2nd millennium BCE and gained control of much of Central and Western Asia Minor and of the Taurus Mountains, from the Halys River to the Aegean Sea. Archaeological evidence points to Cordium as their capital and King Midas as one of their prominent rulers. A noteworthy aspect of the religion of the people of early Phrygia is the worship of a mother goddess Rhea Cybele. The western part of Phrygia came under the control of the Attalid kings of Pergamum. This kingdom became the Roman province of Asia, but this portion is often referred to as Asian Phrygia. See Asia. The king of